Everyone's saying SEO is dead because of ChatGPT, Perplexity, DeepSeek, AI overviews, whatever. But Google just reported their Q1 ad revenue, and it's actually up 8.5% year over year from 2024, and overall revenue is actually up 12%. So let's break down what's actually really happening in search results and why commercial SEO is still alive and thriving. All right, so this article is from Search Engine Roundtable about a week ago now, April 24th. Google reports ad revenue up 8.5%. This is year over year, as I mentioned, for Q1. Overall revenue is up 12%, and AI overviews have been served to 1.5 billion users monthly. So just want to get through this report and break down what it means for SEO, okay? If you've worked in SEO, if you've worked with an agency, a freelancer, you've done it yourself, maybe you're in-house, whatever, your own business, whatever it may be, you've probably heard the term SEO is dead or dying more than one time, okay? I run an SEO agency. We have grown every single month the last 5 months in terms of our agency's MRR. All our clients are growing as well. It is absolutely not dead, okay? That's my circumstantial view on the situation. However, let's look at Google's kind of overall view of things, okay? 8.5% increase year over year in Q1. Overall revenue was 12%, okay? Now, this is year over year because Q1 2025 compared to Q4 2024 is going to be way down because Q4 is Google's and really all of e-commerce's biggest quarter of the year every year, just with Black Friday and holiday shopping and stuff, okay? The year over year is an important note. Total revenue is 90.2 billion. Ad revenue specifically, 66.9 billion right here. That's over 2/3 of the entire revenue is ad revenue, okay? As we've all known, that's been the whale of Google's ad revenue for quite some time, or of their total revenue for quite some time now, okay? AI overviews are now serving over 1.5 billion users monthly and keeps getting better, and we're pleased with the positive early reaction to AI mode. Lots more to come, okay? Now, I really want to focus on the Q1 ad revenue year-over-year growth, okay? So let me break that down. So let's start with the headline. SEO is not dead, okay? If search was dying, Google Ads revenue would be down year over year, not up year over year. And we said it's up 8.5%. Now, I will concede that it's more than likely, definitely likely, that cost per clicks were up year over year, right? Which definitely contributed to some of that 8.5% growth, okay? But more people are still continuing. More people than last year at the same time, Q1, are continuing to buy and search and buy products on Google, okay? So yes, 1.5 billion monthly users are being served AI reviews, which means that informational queries and informational searches are dying. That has been the case for as long as AI reviews have been starting to be rolled out, and as long as people have started to use LLMs. Right? You ask the average person working in e-commerce, tech, something like someone moderately digital savvy, more often than not, they're probably going to ChatGPT or Perplexity or something instead of Google for like basic informational queries, especially if they want to go read, especially if they want to go like deep dive on a topic, right? I know for a fact, like if I want to learn about a new topic, I'm probably not reading a full blog anymore. I'm just going to go bullet point note, ask questions to Chat or Perplexity and just get the information I want and continue the conversation from there, right? It's much more effective for me, and I learn I have a tailored learning view or tailored learning process comparatively to a blog, right? So informational SEO for sure, has been over. If you're trying to like get visibility in LLMs or AI overviews with blog, like informational top funnel blog content, I genuinely think you're going to have a very difficult time. And I don't think you're going to be very profitable. So that being said, I kind of believe that SEO is shifting into really like two types of SEO. The first is informational SEO, which I just kind of mentioned, okay? Significantly harder. There's no kind of set playbook for how it works other than if you rank well in Google, you'll probably have more visibility. You'll probably have more visibility in LLMs and AI overviews, right? So like I said, myself and just anecdotally people I know, as well as like kind of what the data seems to suggest, AI overviews and ChatGPT and other LLMs are answering these informational searches much faster. Like I said, there may be a market for this. I do not believe it's in e-commerce. If you're doing e-commerce SEO and you're trying to get visibility in ChatGPT with like how-to instructional articles or like what is style articles, you will be banging your head against a wall for the foreseeable future. That leaves the second type of SEO, commercial SEO. Probably not the best name for it. Revenue focused, commercial, whatever you want to call it, right? But this is thriving. This is what we've been focusing on for the last better part of a year now. Searchers, which as indicated by the 8.5% revenue growth year over year, people are still searching and clicking to buy on Google, researching brands, reading reviews, buying products, and booking services, right? I've covered this theory of like commercial-based, revenue-focused, whatever SEO in my last, like probably 2 or 3 of my last like 10 videos. And there are really 2 steps you should take to capitalize on this new quote unquote kind of SEO, right? Focus on ranking your product pages and your category pages on Google. This has not changed. That is without a doubt the highest ROI activity you will have in e-commerce SEO is ranking your products and categories on Google. That is the most bang for your buck, the most leverage you will get, and the most money you will make in the shortest amount of time is if you can accomplish ranking your products and collections for purchase intent keywords. Bar none. It's not even close. The second thing you should do is alongside that, you should start to be adapting to LLMs. Now, the way to do this is not with top of funnel informational content. It is middle funnel, bottom funnel content, which again, I've discussed it at length for the better part of the last month or more now in my videos. What do these articles look like? Competitor alternatives, your competitor A, alternatives article. Competitor comparisons, you versus a competitor. Solution alternatives, or like your product versus a similar solution. These bottom of funnel, middle funnel style articles are going to influence which products a user buys, and they're also getting cited, that kind of content is getting cited more in LLMs comparatively to top of funnel informational content, okay? So that's that. The next thing I want to talk about is the AI overviews, right? AI overviews change how people see results and how they interact with results, but they are not necessarily changing how much they actually buy things, right? Because AI reviews are still not showing up all that prevalently in, if that's even a word, all that prevalently in like commercial / transaction based SERPs. It's definitely showing up in some percent of them, but it's not the majority, I don't believe yet. Google is covered in ads even above and within the AI reviews, right? Part of Google's additional 8.5% growth as well is that they've added more ad spots on the search results, right? So there's more ads to click from, increasing likelihood that someone is going to click, which means Google gets paid, right? Ironically, when AI reviews first rolled out, every SEO wanted to, rank for them. Similar to people also ask, like getting a featured snippet or getting a people also ask. That is how AI overviews were initially viewed by the SEO industry, myself included, right? Like it was cool to find yourself in one of those. Now, I don't know a single SEO who is like really stoked about ranking or getting a visibility or citation or whatever in an AI overview in a search result. And the reason is they just simply reduce click volume. Like even if you get in the AI overview, it doesn't guarantee you a click, not by any means. In fact, like an AI overview is going to reduce your click volume from the number 1 spot by like 30 to 40% at minimum. If you're in the number 2 or 3 spot, you're losing probably like 70 to 80% of your click volume, if not more. Now, the only way to adapt to AI overviews, because they exist so prevalently, we said 1.5 billion users monthly, right? That is a significant chunk of the human population. I don't know how much that is like percentage-wise of Google's entire like user base, but the only way to adapt to AI overviews is to simply just pivot to keywords that aren't affected by it. So you want to first target keywords that lose fewer to no clicks to AI overviews, so commercial-based keywords mostly, and also keywords that drive more revenue, which are going to be like on top of the commercial keywords, like for product and category pages. These other keywords will include, buyer guides, competitor comparisons, solution comparisons, competitor alternatives, solution alternatives, things like that. You simply need to adapt to SERPs, just like always, right? This is no different than a Google update of sorts, right? Like an algorithm updates. Things change, you have to adapt. That's simply the way it is. But that's anything in life, but definitely any digital marketing industry. So you just simply have to adapt. So how do you adapt? What does this mean for e-commerce brands and how you approach SEO? It's not dead. It's simply shifting. Best way to maximize your return on SEO is to focus on commercial pages and link building. Optimize your commercial pages, build internal links, build backlinks. That is going to cover like 85 to 90% of what you need to do. The rest of it will fall on the actual like content itself, plus some technical SEO, things of that nature. Okay. Now, that also goes alongside doing paid ads. Okay. SEO is not a substitute for paid ads. Every 7, 8, and 9-figure brand alive runs paid ads on Google for a reason. It is a great way to drive revenue at a 3, 4, 5, 6x ROAS. And it also helps inform your SEO strategy a lot, which I've also made videos about that in the past. So continue running Google ads, dial in your SEO strategy. Just like, in fact, like I think SEO is going to be a bit easier because you're constraining the amount of things you have to focus on. If I'm telling you like informational top funnel blog content is out of the picture, that's just less you have to worry about / less you have to do. If you could picture a funnel, like the most amount of keywords in an entire SEO pop strategy or campaign would actually be at the top of the funnel. By getting rid of those, you now just get to concentrate more of your resources on fewer things, which means those resources will be amplified and the results as well will be amplified. So it's simply like adapt or die at this point. Like 2024, 2023 SEO style is over. AI is moving at a much faster pace than I think anyone anticipated. It's like definitely finally here. And if you don't adapt, you continue to try and, do SEO the way you did it 6 months ago or even 6 years ago, you're going to get left behind. Simple as that. See you guys in the next video.